Hey guys, I have titled this video Samsung Galaxy S3 versus iPhone 5 because I think that's a topic that we need to talk a little bit about because we have Apple, having their iPhone that's extremely popular right now, and then we have Samsung that came out of nowhere 2010 with their Galaxy series. And this year they released the Galaxy S2 that's been a very successful phone. And we have Apple that has been releasing new iPhones in 2007, and now just last year's here they have been getting more and more competition. And I really think that the Samsung Galaxy S3 versus the iPhone 5, that's going to be a very important battle, and I think it's going to be a really interesting battle as well, because I'm not so sure if we are gonna see that battle that soon. So why do I say this? Because you may think, oh well, the iPhone 5 is gonna be out soon, and I'm just gonna say I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure that we're gonna see an iPhone 5 this year. And when I say it like that, when I say we're not going to see an iPhone 5, I don't think we're going to see an iPhone 5. I don't mean that we aren't going to see a new iPhone coming out this year. But what I do mean is that I don't think that Apple's going to release an iPhone 5 this year with that name iPhone 5. I do believe though that we are going to see, definitely gonna see a new iPhone 5 this year, but that is going to be titled the iPhone 4S. So this is going to be one of my speculations video where I'm just going to talk a little bit about this, because I really think that this is an interesting thing that's going on right now, and Samsung is really pushing Apple right now. So why do I don't think we're going to see an iPhone 5? I do believe that we can see two iPhones be released, but when I think about it a little bit, about how many things Apple is working on right now, I'm not so sure about if they are going to release two new iPhones next month, along with iCloud, iOS 5, and all of those things, and an iPod Touch with like 3G capabilities. And I don't really think that we're going to see two iPhones next month. And I do believe that that's possible, and that everyone's been talking about it. But recently, when I'm reading, these stories and these rumors and these reports, it really seems like we only gonna see an iPhone 4S right now. And I mean, if I just think about it, and if you think about it, how many iPhones have Apple released this year? You may say 0, but you know what? That's wrong. They have released an iPhone this year. It was the white iPhone 4. And you may say, well, that's not the new iPhone. Well, I'm sorry, but they did release an iPhone, and it is selling like crazy. Have you seen all of those guys in the streets that have the white iPhone 4? Yes, it's selling like crazy. So, okay, so Apple have a phone right now that's selling like crazy. So why would they release two new iPhones? Doesn't really make sense. They don't have to. The iPhone 4, they released a new one this year. I know it have the same specs, it's only a white version, but it's still selling like crazy. So then you may say, oh well, why would Apple even release one more iPhone 5 or one more iPhone this year? Well, the thing is that right now Apple have two iPhones out that they have like in the store. I think the first one is the iPhone 3GS, okay? And the thing is that with iPhone 3GS, they need to replace that device, okay? They need to replace it with a new phone. You may wonder, why do they need to do that? Well, because it can't and it won't be able to run iOS 5. So what does Apple need to do? They obviously need to release a new iPhone, so they could make the iPhone 4 the one, the little lower end device that could that's gonna take over like the Android, or going to try to take over the Android market. And you may say, well, how is Apple gonna try to take over the Android market with their expensive iPhone 4 that's out right now? Well, the thing is that if Apple release a new iPhone called the iPhone 4S with better specs, obviously the price is gonna get to go down a little bit on the iPhone 4 that's out right now. But the thing is that what Apple just need to do with an iPhone 4 right now to compete with the Android market easier is just to release an 8 GB version of the iPhone 4. Because that's pretty goddamn clever, because you know this storage thingy, it costs a lot of cash. So 8 GB iPhone 4, we've also seen that report that this 8 GB iPhone 4 could come for 99 bucks, 2-year contract. Now, wouldn't that be pretty goddamn clever? Yes, it would, because then they don't have to release 2 iPhones, and they already have, you know, the technology and stuff like that. They don't have to, you know, redesign it. They need to remove 8 GB from the 16 GB version, and then they will have a much cheaper iPhone. Now, you should remember that this is just my speculation, so what I think that we are gonna see, and it would be pretty goddamn awesome if this turns out to be true, but I think it could be true that we're gonna see a lower end 8 GB iPhone 4 that's gonna take over the low end market. Then we're gonna have in the mid end, we are gonna see the iPhone 4 still that's out right now, white and black versions, that is gonna, you know, be that mid end market, compete with the mid end Android phones. And then that we're gonna see an iPhone 4S be the high-end phone. Okay, that's going to be the high-end phone with, as we have seen these rumors that this iPhone 4S may not just come with a small little increase in the screen size, because I mean, let's be serious guys, 3.5 inch that we have right now on the iPhone 4 is not gonna work. Okay, it could work, but I think that Apple needs to, you know, get closer to like a bigger screen, because right now the Android market have been really focusing on getting bigger screens, so customers can come and see, oh wait, this one is bigger, you know, I want that one, I want bigger screen. So yes, and these case leaks that we also have been seeing, and you know, case leaks from China and stuff like that, we have seen multiple case leaks that have been pointing to a bigger screen, a 4+ inch screen. Now, wouldn't that be pretty goddamn awesome? A thing is we should remember here is that if Apple want to keep the same resolution and, you know, increase the screen size, then they may have to remove that Retina HD marketing if they don't release or, you know, improve the screen resolution. But we don't know that yet. So let's just recap here. The low end phone, an 8 GB iPhone 4, and then we're gonna have probably a mid end. This is just my speculation right now, this may not be true, but the mid end with an iPhone 4 that's out right now, 16 GB or 32 GB versions, and then at the high end the iPhone 4S 8 megapixel camera, running obviously iOS 5. Obviously all of these is gonna run iOS 5 definitely, but the 8 megapixel camera, possibly a little thinner, bigger screen. What else do we have? 8 megapixel camera, yeah, dual core processor also. That's gonna be a big thing, I think. So it's really, I mean, Samsung Galaxy S3, let's just recap here. The Galaxy S2 got out over like 8 months ago, or six months ago, I think, in China, maybe even more. So what we do know is that Samsung is really working here on the next Samsung Galaxy S3. I've already made a video about the rumored specs on this device, but really they are working on it. But what we have seen here is that just a couple of weeks ago, Samsung released a new device. It was the Galaxy Note that's gonna come possibly already in UK, to UK in November. The Galaxy Note that have a 5.3 inch screen, got some 6 specs, and that really seems to be the next big phone coming from Samsung. So that is probably going to be the, you know, the starter phone from Samsung there in the beginning of 2012, and then we're probably gonna see the Galaxy S3 coming, you know, in summer 2012, I would suppose. And then, as I said, the iPhone 5, I mean, if Apple releases iPhone 4S only, then the iPhone 5 is obviously gonna take a long time till they announce that one in 2012. I'm not sure. I don't think that they're gonna go back to that summer schedule. So I think that they're gonna release it around October, the same. So it goes to like a 1 year release cycle of new iPhones. So they change from summer to fall, just as with their Apple's regular iPod event have always been in the fall. So it's cool that they're changing those things up. And because probably the summer time to release a new iPhone, I don't think that was a good time. And then, okay, so we know that Samsung is going to release an early 2012 phone. It's going to be the Galaxy Note. Could possibly come a little earlier in other countries, like in UK, as I said, they're in November. And then we also do know that Samsung is going to have a second event, and a Samsung Unpacked event in October the 11th. Just a couple of days after, or like a week after this, possibly the iPhone 4S event on October 4th. But we do know that Samsung is going to have a second event there, and talking about possibly new phones. And I think that we're going to see the Nexus 3 be launched there, the code name like Nexus Prime. That's going to be Google's next phone to try out Android. The Android 2.4 version, the ice cream sandwich, that's going to combine the current mobile version of Android with the tablet version of Android. So, I mean, obviously, on the next Samsung Galaxy S3, we are probably going to see, obviously, Android is going to get updated, so we're probably at least going to see, the ice cream sandwich be on there. I'm not so sure about the Galaxy Note, because if it comes early, I'm not really sure, but it would be definitely awesome if it comes with this new Android version, because Android 2.3 it's not boring, but yeah, it's awesome with the Galaxy Note that it have a big screen. So we really do hope that that one also get the ice cream sandwich, because I mean the ice cream sandwich is obviously going to take the best things from the tablet version of Android and combine it with the mobile version, and with that big screen it will be kind of awesome. And I think that you got to start with the Galaxy Note tablet as well. But yeah, use my speculations here. So if you're waiting for Samsung Galaxy S3, if you're waiting for iPhone 5, I really suggest that you relax, because I don't feel that we're gonna see those products near here. And don't rage, please, but it's gonna be exciting to see if this video turns out to be true, or I could be wrong. We could see the new iPhone 5 be released here early, but if you're searching for Samsung Galaxy S3 versus iPhone 5 already, then I suggest you stop right now, because that could take a long time before we see both of those products be out on the market. So relax. Summer 2012, that's the time where we are gonna talk about it, and we're possibly gonna have obviously new phones from HTC and all of those, Nokia, and yeah. But if you're looking forward to more new phones this year, here we obviously also gonna have Nokia's probably gonna release some new Windows Phone 7 devices, so that's something that you could keep a lookout. But really doesn't feel like we're gonna see a tons of new devices this year. Possibly a couple of more phones be released, but like the big ones have already been released. We're just waiting here for Apple to release their bad boy, and hopefully Nexus Prime will be launched and announced on October the 11th, so possibly could get a launch before this year ends. So yeah, but just a quick video talking about some stuff. Hope I don't confuse you here about stuff. So yeah, see.